Did you notice a difference between what they're able to do now versus a year ago? And
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just a year advanced, and we talked about it last week. It's it's night and day compared to last year. So.
What about you said that you had hoped everybody would be a full go, but it looked like Theo's got something going on with his wrist or arm.
Yeah, we're just being precautionary with Theo. He should be okay.
Okay, and then
He should be okay for at least the start of the season.
And then I think the other one was Diamond's got.
Same thing. They're just being precautionary. He may be cleared in the next day or so.
Okay. It looked
He
like
just hadn't gone full last spring, so they're just easing him into it. So.
Was it like to see Josh Woods back out there running around?
I was really happy for Josh. He obviously had a big injury last year in the middle of camp, and we were really counting on him last year. And the fact that we could get him back for his 5th year was huge for him, and he's worked extremely hard in rehabbing it. So I was just happy for Josh to get him back on the field.
Looked like Elijah Wade has switched positions.
We're going to cross-chain Elijah, so he can play just a little bit of multiplicity. He's gotten a little bit bigger. He's almost up to 275 now, so he can lend some help on the D-line and at outside linebacker.
Can you talk about getting Josh Woods back on a team that has so many young guys? How important is
I
a
mean,
guy
Josh
like that
was always
with
a great leader,
experience?
even when he was out last year. So to have, I think we've got 87 freshmen and sophomores. So to have some senior leadership, with him and Chris Barnes and some of the older guys there, I think obviously he can help the younger guys kind of get up to speed in terms of where they are. But Josh did a great job even last year when he was out of helping out and mentoring the younger guys.
Colson, any update on his
No
waiver?
update right now. So
Okay.
not
You
very good.
you doubled your quarterback group. How nice is that to have some extra bodies there?
Well, it's the same as we always do. We usually go to camp with 5 or 6 guys, depending on the roster. So, we were at 5 last year when we were in preseason camp. So, it's just always what you do. You lose some kids through attrition and graduation. We obviously lost Wilton, so he graduated. So now you got to replace those guys. So that was always the plan going in, that we were going to have 5 or 6 guys in camp.
How is it trying to integrate 48 new players all together just in
It's
drills?
been really
and getting-
good because I think they've done a great job. Obviously, they got here in the middle of June, so they had been with Frank and his staff since then. And then we had a lot of player-led workouts in the off-season, and I think our older kids did a really good job of getting the younger kids up to speed on things. So I was really happy with how all the young kids kind of showed up on their first day of trainings.
Is it kind of a added responsibility for the veterans to try to bring those guys along just with so many new guys?
Well, if they want to have a good team, I mean, they got to contribute to the development of them, because obviously just the numbers will tell you that some of those young kids are going to have to play just because we don't have a lot of older kids at certain positions. So those kids are going to have to get on the field. So it's important for what our guys did in the summertime and getting those guys going to have to speed on things. So
You've added this new television screen over here. What does this add to your
That's for
text?
you, Ben.
For me? Okay.
Just
Instant
for
replay?
Ben?
yeah, so you want to watch TV? Price is Right. You just tell them what channel to put it on. So you seem to get bored very quickly. So we can. I think you can select. I don't know if it's Spectrum or whatever, but just pick a channel and he'll put it on. So it's just the ability to kind of watch plays and teach. They're working out all the bugs, so we haven't really used it yet. So
So if you see something that catches your attention, you'll say run it back on the screen, or how will that work?
it depends on the individual coaches will do it by position. So
Okay.
when we have our teach periods, they'll be able to utilize some instant feedback out there. So.
Okay. How big of a concern, we haven't talked to you since the APR, well actually we have, but I haven't asked about APR situation that came out last May with football.
Yeah, it's always a concern. I mean, because when it gets below a certain level, it can affect you from a scholarship count and all those other things. So our academic people are doing a really good job with the kids that we have now. The issue with the APR is it's a 4-year rolling thing that occurred before we got here. So you can't, and you also can't go back. You can't change something that happened in the class of 2014 because that's just the way it is. So our job is to make sure that the classes from 19 on continue to do a really good job academically, and as those numbers get added to the cohort, then hopefully your numbers will go up. So, but our kids right now, we had the highest grade point average we've had ever here at school in the spring term. So I'm real confident with the guys we get now and in the academic system that they have in place here.
What was that GPA?
It was like a 2.89.
Okay, and obviously with guys leaving the program, that was a big part of what had happened with the score going down.
I guess so. I wasn't here, so I couldn't tell you why the score was the score, because I couldn't tell you the individual cases of why this kid did this or this kid did that. So.
What progress have you seen from Austin Burton since?
Austin had a great spring and has really continued that through the summer, and had a good first day. So we're really, really happy with the progress that Austin's made. And
How about
he's
Dorian?
really picked it up. Same thing. I think all the quarterbacks, they're the two oldest. Sophomores being the two oldest. But, I thought they've all done a really good job. And obviously Chase is different because he's 100% healthy now. So we really limited him in the beginning of the spring. He started to come on towards the end of the spring. But now you count with the Chase you see. Yesterday was way different than the Chase we saw on April 20th last year. So I think all three of those guys have really developed, and then we added the three new guys.
Do you have an ideal number of offensive linemen you'd like on scholarship?
Yeah, you usually want to be in the 15 range, but it depends. That was probably the biggest hole for us coming in here, and what the numbers were in the past, and the attrition they had at the position. So. But just to say he's an lineman, put him on scholarship, that doesn't remedy any situation. They still have to be able to meet the criteria of what an offensive lineman is. So.
Somebody had tweeted that you were doing class checks at one point. Did you do that?
I've done it ever since I've been here. I've done it every school I've ever been at, so it's not a really big deal.
Do you just like the accountability that kind of brings to the team when the head coach shows up to?
No, all of our coaches do it. I don't think it has anything to do with whether you're the head coach or an assistant coach or an ops guy. We've just always class checked, so I've done it at every other school I've been at, so I don't think it's anything out of the ordinary.
I know you saw these guys during all the newcomers during summer, but just after the first day, were there any new guys just eyeballing them that kind of stood out physically?
No, I mean, we've seen them all since the beginning, and we saw them in recruiting, so it's not like the kid you signed in December or February looks any different than when you saw them in June. So there's nobody in particular I could single out. We're impressed with the whole group, though.
Any other position switches that are happening right now?
I don't think so, but
Good.
you'll tell me.
Okay.
So as you look around. So.
All right.
And a lot of it, like if a defensive lineman is standing out or standing out, they're still rushing the passer. So that's not you may think it's a position switch, but that's not a position switch. No one went from offense to defense or defense to offense. So no quarterback left and went to another position. So,
Woo!
so not that I can say.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.